heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal, speed metal, funk metal fusion. To my knowledge, the first band was Steppenwolf, who in Born to Be Wild made heavy metal thunder. And that's what's important to remember here, that the rock and roll chord structure has never changed from the black guy with his guitar with his 3 strings on it in the early days of the rhythm and blues right the way through till now. The chord structures are the same. They're using A, they're using E, they're using C, they're using D. They haven't invented any new chords. It's a bit like dance moves. There's only a certain amount of dance moves. All you can do is put them in a different order. Heavy metal is no compromise. It's the bastard of the music. It was Deep Purple's ability to improvise and kind of, you know, just go crazy and over the top. Kiss and Motorhead and Deep Purple, and you can see, you know, it was Judas Priest's kind of riffs that inspired us. It was Kiss's stage show that inspired us. It was Motorhead's really, you know, aggressive, heavy, almost punk attitude. Hi, my name's Abaddon. I'm from the band Venom, and this is my house. It's a primitive Methodist chapel originally. It brings a smell back, it brings a feeling back, it brings a memory back. And I kind of think that's the job of a heavy metal, somebody in heavy metal, I think, is to create a backwash to people, I suppose, in puberty, you know, people growing up and kind of experiencing life. I think, you know, I mean, Sepultura singing about where they come from, singing about roots and singing about Brazil and singing about, you know, harsh realities. It's a necessary experience for people to hear this and to witness it. Pint of beer, you will make me drunk, thank you. That's my faith. As I was explaining on the way up, I say it is part of my job to come up here all the time and make sure there are no Scots from this side trying to get into England on that side. And it's a lonely job, but somebody's got to do it.
In the 60s we had the Animals, who were quite a group. We've had Brian Ferry, who I was at college with.
Oh really?
Dire Straits, Sting.
This is where I spend like all the time. Almost all the time being in the house I'll spend in here. I just throw loads of candles about, stick some music on, shut the door, play pool.
Yes, I should have mentioned Venom. Of course, yes, Venom.
I tell you, here's a scoop for you. Here's a scoop. If country and western had any influence on me whatsoever, it is if you listen to thrash metal. The drummers in thrash metal bands go dittin, 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 dittin. That is a speeded up country and western drum beat, because all the country and western drummers go dum dit dum dit dum dit dum dit. So if that's the only connection between country and western and thrash, is it's the same bass drum snare, but played at like 300 miles an hour. You know? You can.
So it could be something on the next track as we'll come up to.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you play something in this track. It's just a very quick track.
Oh, right. Yeah, just at the start of this.
Yeah, rewind it. Yeah, rewind this a little bit.
Rewind.
A bit more. I run a publishing company, I run a record company, I manage certain groups, I run the recording studio, I tour manage bands, and I work all the stage layout and pyro cues and work all that kind of stuff for Venom. Go back and stick some of that in. Yeah, the kids' hands up in the air and just get slow it down a little bit so you get them in time.
He's making. Check him out.
He did it with both hands. It's because the legs behind him, he can see his screen.
What does the symbol mean?
Sign of the devil. Until you do that.
That was better.
Then it ridicules the whole of it.
I think we're all pretty extremists, and that's the thing. You know, we all probably had quite a violent upbringing, and we all went to violent schools where the teachers used to kick the fuck out of you for nothing.
Round here, if you kind of want to get away from industrialised, well, but it's still the same, but mainly in my day and age, if you want to get away from an industrial background or working in one of these places, you became good at soccer or music.
I remember when we first joined the band, there was a poll in one of the national papers about the most violent schools, and the school Abaddon went to was like second in the most violent schools in the region, and my school was #1 most violent school. It was just crazy. I mean, you'd be walking down the corridor and the teachers would just fucking pounce on you, so there'd just be mass riots, you know. We used to chip up on the walls like how many of the kids had kicked the fucking shit out the teachers because it was our only revenge, you know.
This is my gym. I've had this gym now for about 4 years. It's a kickboxing and martial arts gym. Two guys you can see in the background. We've got a British champion over here. We've got one of our other instructors over there. Myself personally, I've been training now for about 25 years in a variety of systems such as Taekwondo, Aikido, and now into kickboxing and freestyle karate.
That works. I was going to say, I was just out of order. Completely out of order. They just couldn't keep an eye on us. I mean, I was in and out of fucking hospital. I'm blind in one eye. I've only got fucking use of one hand. I was just fucking, well, for me, I was just fucking wrapped up in fucking wires. I didn't give a shit. I was full of drugs. This is great. My fucking parents are going grey, and all the hair's falling out. They're like, oh, you little bastard. But I just had no fear, I would just jump off the top of buildings and just fucking hurt myself and just crazy.
Your eyes.
I was in a shooting accident.
You're kidding.
Yeah, you can't actually notice, and that's pretty cool, but I'm actually blind completely in my eye. The pellet's still in the head.
You're kidding.
Yeah, the pellet's still in the back of my head. I had to give us these pills to make a kind of pearl effect around the lead to stop it poisoning my system and that. So, as I say, a lot of it's a mush, a lot of it's a blur, but to me parents, they just must have went fucking grey overnight.
Well, I've only got hearing on one side, but that was a pair of headphones blew up when I was doing when I was recording.
Oh, really?
I just pushed them too loud on one side, just
Bang.
Yeah. And I didn't know I was deaf. I kind of found out like three days later there was some blood coming down my face. But it's never come back.
Is it completely gone or just?
No, it's totally gone. What's going to happen now is when the other side goes, we're just going to get traffic lights put on the drum kit and green, go, stop, get ready, go.
How did you get shot in the eye?
Because we were playing Japs and Commandos with air rifles. So like my friends were over there and we were over here and we were bang like this and bang, and I stood up and got shot. And the kid who shot us was Japanese, so that was cool. Japs and Commandos. He's still my good friend actually. Still cool. So shit happens, man.
You go to the doctor and the doctor kind of look at it and go, well, yeah, that's deaf and that side's going to go the same if you don't stop what you're doing. And it's like, yeah, but this is my job. It's what I do.
This is your life.
It's your life, yeah. I can deal with deafness later.
Venom could sing about love and flowers, let's put it that way. It looked pretty stupid, us going on stage, going like that, and then singing about peace and love and everything,
Basically, they're all old stories. We have come up with some of our own interpretations of things, but, I mean, say, for example, the track Countess Bathory. Fascinating story about this woman in the Middle Ages who was obviously insane. I mean, obviously. who figured, oh, one way to stay young is to kill virgins and bathe in their blood. Wow. What a fucking lunatic. Isn't that incredible? And she had like a good castle and all that, and like money and wealth and power, and she was an absolute psychopath. What a wonderful story. What a wonder. And like the amount of death and degradation and suffering and everything she caused, and nobody stopped her. You know, it took so long for it to end, and when they finally crashed into our castle and they were pulling the walls away, there was these bodies just piled up, just thousands of bodies, you know. I mean, can you imagine something like that happening today? But these stories are probably forgotten, you know. I mean, people probably watch a bit of Hammer Horror and see the Countess Dracula story, and it's just the tip of the iceberg, you know. So that song basically is just explaining that woman.
Could you
It's welcoming the virgin's fair to live a noble life in the castle known to all, the Count's infernal wife. She invites the peasants with endless lavish foods, but when evening spreads its wings, she rapes them of their blood. You know, and that's the way she got them in. She enticed them. All the people outside the castle grounds were all dying of hunger and everything. So she's like, hey, come in, I'll feed you. What would you do? You'd say, fucking right on, let's go in there and get fed. Little do you know what's inside, you know? Wonderful story, wonderful.
All of these cranes and all these buildings are completely defunct now. Fucking British government prefers to buy everything from outside rather than subsidise. They're tying in the weir, so consequently everybody who's trained in shipbuilding, great shipbuilding area, nobody's got any work anymore.
Some very famous ships have been built up here.
So 8 years ago, all this stuff that we're going to see broke down, and they just literally, you know, 22,000 people became unemployed overnight, and the whole river just closed up really.
But that has depleted.
Turn around. All the ships used to be built here, used to come in here as raw steel plate. They kind of come into this building here, this first part of this building here, and there was like a big assembly line. All the ships would all be put together, built in here. Oh, great building, fuck.
Well big enough for...
There's people have just like walked out. It's just like everybody's just stopped in the middle and just went. They've just left. Yeah, we'll take it now. Fix the roof, we'll take it.
History of the shipyard.
This is a great place.
Fuck. Amazing. What are you guys doing?
Recording studio. Put the studio back in here and run the management offices and put the video guy that was down when we were doing the video stuff. That's only temporary. That's supposed to be our building, so he's going to come back over with us. Control room in there, and then put all the big windows on here, and then tie this off here and make that the machine room. Windows in there, and then just all that recording area.
How are the acoustics going to be in here?
Acoustics are going to be bright as fuck.
So where Ozzy and Sabbath and all them would have the, oh God help me, we were like, no, fuck that's it, fucking kill the babies, fucking kill the nuns, fucking... We just wanted to take it a stage further. It was like horror movie to music. Just everything so much further. We always said we had a pot, and we would stick every band that's ever been in this pot, mix it up, and whoosh, that's Venom. Everything, the biggest show, the biggest bombs, the more studs, the more lasers, the more everything. It's entertainment. We're not the guys to go out there in our jeans. It wouldn't be Venom. We have to be that special event, you know. We have to be that OTT.
Yeah!
continue to be. We've still got a million ideas. You know, it's like, let's get the fucking stage and take it up in the air and explode the fucker like a big UFO coming over the audience or something, you know. I think Venom would be the first band to ever play on the moon, you know. Cover the fucking moon in speakers and just blast it at Earth. You have to fucking listen to it now! Raw!
If you can see a great Matisse on the wall, and you can kind of put a piece of Venom next to it and say, you know, that this is one side of life, this is another. That's kind of my, I think my part in the responsibility.
It's not my kind of music. Let's put it that way.
What kind of music do you like to listen to?
All kinds of music, but not heavy metal. Everything except heavy metal.
Hey, you know, it's great to hear that Venom's coming back. I mean, Cronos back from the dead. Jeez. Black metal, lay down your soul to the gods, rock and roll. You should use her in a video.
Pot, blood, guts, death, mayhem, pyros, leather, studs. Hell yeah!